Man, I got that happy. I got a fortune cookie Sunday.
What you take my money for, though?
Did you open it?
Oh yeah,
I killed a spider.
that's fine.
Okay. It's cause like he was chilling. He was like a little baby.
If they're in
spider.
the way, they gotta go.
Well, I felt bad. I said I'm sorry before I did it, but you know, he was chilling here off my microphone and I took the 2 pennies.
Oh, you
That's what I said.
killed them with pennies. That's crazy.
Technically, the pennies killed.
Pennies come in handy, huh?
Yo, I saw this the wildlife thing on octopus, and there was it looked like a stingray type thing. It wasn't. It was like if a stingray had a baby with like a shellfish or whatever.
You can do that.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I didn't catch what the octopus was running from. It just looked scary. Like it's stayed on the floor.
Oh, and it was like
No crawling. Just kind of floating, like waiting for that octopus to get caught slipping. Now, octopus grabbed 2 halves of a coconut, okay, and then got in it.
Yeah.
And then
so
rolled
fucking
away.
smart, huh?
Yeah, have you seen documentaries on the motherfuckers?
Yeah,
They're smart.
I'm just like, yeah. I mean, that's like exceeds smart. That's like,
They're intelligent.
I wouldn't do that, huh?
I mean, I wouldn't. A coconut isn't a water thing that they've ever seen. So
Exactly.
I
to see
see
half,
what you mean.
to see half a coconut and say, okay, where's the other half? I'm like, how do you know that? Like, how you know that's not the whole thing right there?
They're
And then
really smart.
and then put them together, and then it rolled away, like on some freaking Wile E. Coyote,
Yeah.
Roadrunner shit.
That's
like,
crazy. Where'd you see that? I mean, you got share shit. Like I like wildlife shit, man.
Yeah, that's that thing. Every time I see them, it's like, okay, you can do better. Every time I see a wildlife nature video, I'm like, okay, you can do better. Like just and, like that's how I feel. It just, I mean, it encourages me to do better.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't tell me I'm slipping, but it's like, man, if an octopus can make use of a coconut, I couldn't even. You can hand me a whole coconut. I couldn't even begin to tell you,
can't
how
even
to open
open
it.
one.
I'm
Huh?
about to say you probably can't even crack it, huh?
No.
Yeah, can I?
Yeah, I was like, how? You know,
Yeah.
but it's like, you know, you got to have. That's what it's like. I'm trying to express to people is like that hunger. That's how the first coconut got cracked. The person who had it was like, I'm hungry or I'm thirsty or whatever. And whatever's on the inside of this coconut is going to satisfy my hunger. I'm hungry enough.
Low key, sometimes I think shit just happens on accident.
I don't know. Like,
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
like
saying?
who
How would you?
who figured out that you could make cocaine out of coca leaves?
somebody who really wanted Coke.
No, but I'm saying like,
it's
no,
like,
no,
without,
like what she just said.
Yeah,
right
they
now,
never
like,
had Coke. They never
something-
had Coke, so.
An accident, you know?
Or like the coconut too. It's like, how did they know if you open it? Like, who the fuck thought about opening it? Maybe I don't know. You know, maybe they're like, oh, this is probably like an apple, and then they found out it wasn't. I don't know.
Like, or even then that, like, just eating stuff in general. That always, like, just, you know, how do we know chicken eggs? Like, how do we know that we could just eat the chicken from
Eggs.
there?
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have to wait for the chicken to grow up to be able to eat it. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
what if we started right there? Like, no, now.
Let's try that.
Yeah. And it's like,
Octopus would have known that.
probably. It probably, you know, it's like, do you want to use a gas stove or electric stove?
So the lesson is sometimes you just gotta grab the coconut, man.
Honestly, I just think it's the hunger of it. You know, it's like a lot of people right now are saying that we are in a less ingenuous age, or the least ingenuous age, because we have everything. We don't need anything anymore.
We're also at a time in life where it's not as hard as it used to be, and you know times aren't definitely not like they were before, in the sense that, you know, back in like the early 1900s, motherfuckers were going through war. People were working at a very, very young age, and that's definitely not the case now. You know, we have way more opportunity, way more resources at our hands, and yet we find a way to complain about everything.
I'm bored. Wow.
Yeah.
How are you possible? Well, I can understand boredom more than I care to let on, because boredom is just like I don't have the right stimulus right now. You know, I'm not properly stimulated. Whereas, like, I don't have anything to do. Like, we were that generation, you know, well, the rich kids from our generation, whereas, like, you go to their room, they had everything, you know? And that was when I was a kid, all my friends, you go to their room, they had all the toys possible. I had one friend with a TV. That dude was just up here in his room. And so it's like now we're all that way with our phone. I remember one time I was like I don't know, feeling a particular way. I pulled out my phone, and I was like, I'm just give me something. And my brain stopped me. It's like, there's nothing in that right now that's going to satisfy you. And that's the thing. And I think that as a generation, we're running out of need that we can recognize for intellectual stimulation. And that's honestly, that's where I'm thankful for the gym, you know, because it's like you have communication with your friends, you have the brain working when we're doing drills. We have all those things that you're not going to get from just kind of loafing around with video games or pulling on your phone. I don't want to sound like OK Boomer on anything like that. But you have to really just, when you get out into the world, that's when your brain gets stimulated. So I think that's why the octopus is. You know, the octopus only lives for 3 years.
Yeah, they don't live that long.
That makes it even like so they get fat, they get smart quick.
Yeah, I think some of the females give birth and then they die afterwards because they give all their energy to their offspring.
You don't have to make this a feminist podcast.
Oh, come on.
That's
the last thing that I would do.
Oh, women have it so hard, even the octopus.
It's funny how you're the one who took it there.
It's so tough being a mom.
Just saying, dog.
I know. I you know me. If it gets too serious, I was like, oh, I have to crack a joke now, so because I don't have the emotional IQ.
Oh, is that too emotional?
Probably. Yeah. You said something died after giving birth.
Yeah.
That was the saddest thing I'm gonna hear all day.
That's funny though, because most males in the wild, it could be insects or anything, they die. The males die when they're breeding.
The bees. The bees die after they mate with the queen.
The also the other green the one
the praying mantis. That's
dies.
murder. That's not death. That dude gets murked.
But he knows he's gonna die.
Really?
Yeah.
He said, "Fuck, I'm gonna get this."
That's true. He's like, let me bust this real quick. I'll catch y'all never.
It was probably worth it for him. Okay, no. It's such a like a weird thing for me right now. I'm like, would I? But I haven't. It's been so long. I'm like, I probably would. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I know a lot of listeners right now, like, Adam, finish the sentence. I'm like, I can't. It's too many thoughts in my head right now. Like, would I have sex knowing I would?
What he's basically saying is he'll die for some sex. I'm not saying that, but I'm also not saying that I wouldn't. So you might. I'm saying, it's been a minute.
So who would like bring?
Ideally,
like
who would not? Oh, Rihanna.
See, I knew it.
No, it's a married woman, so no. There are some that I'd just be like, boom.
You're limiting yourself, Adam.
I'm not limiting myself.
You're so irresistible that Rihanna be like, fuck it.
So would she leave ASAP for me? Probably.
She might.
It's possible. Would you like, Coach? Who
sponsored by Jolly Rancher?
I can hear the rapper. That's how good these things are.
Like, Lorena's not gonna listen to this one.
She listens to all of them.
She does?
Choose your words wisely.
Okay.
Everybody.
I want to ask Coach who. Selma Hayek.
Don't incriminate me in nothing, dog.
Selma Hayek.
I'm not involved.
Selma Hayek in a heartbeat.
I vote yes.
Yeah, so I'm trying to the next 45 minutes of this podcast is just Adam going to be naming the women he'd have sex with.
And you know what? You're not allowed, dog. You won't even watch a fucking Mexican movie, but you want to call out Selma Hayek?
Yeah, you want her women, but you don't want to watch her movies, dog?
Dad, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, that's a deep cut.
It's fucked up.
No, and we're not going to freaking have this argument. I don't watch movies. So you guys just win because, like, you know, I watched Deadpool like twice this week because it was on while I was studying. That's how I watch movies. If it can play and I can do something else. I don't watch movies. So every time you guys bring up, you know, if you guys all of a sudden go, you're big Ukrainian or whatever, guess what? I've never seen a Ukrainian movie. You know why? Because I don't watch movies. Like, that's why. And there are a lot of movies out that I kind of want to see a little bit, but I'm like, I got to sit still for like 2 hours. It's got to be streaming on a day where I got nothing. I think the last movie I saw was The Batman.
And what he's trying to say is Adam too busy to watch movies now.
But not too busy for Salma Hayek.
But not.
That's probably why he don't hook up with no girls. He was watching Deadpool.
I was studying.
Who the fuck gets girls when they're watching Deadpool?
Why he's studying though?
Did I do that?
While you're studying, because if you were studying, you wouldn't be watching no mother.
I need the white noise.
Why is it gotta be white?
Racist. We're joking about the racism.
No, not. Oh, man. Hey, so we said we'd talk about CTE this week.
Yeah.
Let's get that out the way and no more asking us to talk about stuff we got to study.
Seth.
Like, that's ridiculous. Like, hey, why don't you guys No, I'm not.
This was Seth. This was Seth's idea.
This was Seth. And Seth's pretty.
We're not going to compare it to football, Seth. I'll tell you that right now. That's too much.
Now, that's where the conversation. Now, what does CTE stand for?
Chronic traumatic encephalopathy.
Okay.
What happens is that your brain pretty much shrinks. I have a picture if you want me to send it to you, and then you can put it up on the screen. But it's the comparison between a regular normal brain and a brain that goes through CTE.
Mm-hmm.
It could also be a TBI, which is a traumatic brain injury, but CTE is a little bit obviously chronic. The brain atrophies, which means it shrinks, right? Just like a muscle shrinks if you don't use it. But that's like a little bit more advanced. I think to bring football into it, like a football player such as Aaron Hernandez had really gnarly CTE.
They found this out like after, yeah.
Which what happens, huh?
Oh yeah.
What happens is that like your speech may be impaired, things like that. But more than anything, once like the frontal lobe starts to fucking shrink, dude, like that's your behavior is like your impulse control is inhibited. You know what I'm saying? So it's like walking around fucking not like drunk in that sense, but like when you're drunk, you don't give a fuck. You're like whatever. So that's your frontal lobe right there that gets affected. So I think it's crazy. I think the reason why Seth brought it up possibly is because in boxing it can be common. It's not as bad as people may think, not like it was before, and I think Coach can touch on that because training before is way different from what it is now. And also it was commonly known as punch drunk syndrome. It was obviously often associated with boxing, but I think the practices that were held before are absolutely not like they are now, and also the rounds aren't as much. Like there's not 15-round fights anymore. There's like now 12.
And it's pretty much even the pros spar with headgear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But arguably, it is a little bit damaging than the MMA guys because they get knocked down, and most of the time they're not allowed to get back up. They're like, okay, fuck it, this is it. And also they have other forms of striking each other, with but that's arguable, right? Because they're also hitting with smaller fucking gloves, so the impact is probably
more significant,
it
targeted.
Is definitely, you can hear the difference when they throw their shots,
I think concussion, it happens from more than one punch because in MMA they get hit, they get knocked out, they're out. And it's the boxer that gets hit over and over and over that.
Who gets back up and takes
who gets up and gets. It's the one shot. It's like, okay, reset. Because that word concussion, I didn't even know it when I was boxing. It didn't exist. It existed, but it didn't exist in the boxing world. We didn't talk about it.
Dude, I was an 80s kid. I could count. I had a lot of concussions growing up as a kid. I was always hitting my head on something or getting hit with something. And it was like, all right, go take a nap. Like I can remember 2 specific concussions where I just woke up later, So it was a different.
How did you get it? Baseball or what happened?
One, I was playing in the park. I think I was like 11. Playing in the park, and I remember running. Then I remember just waking up later at home in bed.
What the fuck?
I tripped and fell, hit my head, and I was just out.
Yeah.
And
you were on cruise control.
Yeah, and it was just just woke up later. My uncle brought me home because that's who I was with. And he was like, man, I remember the joke he told me. He's like, how you doing? I was like, fine. I was like, I went back. There was a crack in the ground from where you hit your big ass head. And then baseball, yep, I got a concussion, but it was just from a stupid collision.
Sliding? Yeah.
Collision at first, just running too hard.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. When I ran, it just moved. It was like, it would just move out of the way because I'm automatically out of control. Or I was anyway.
I don't even think I ever had a concussion. I remember one time I was sparring and I got hit, and I remember just like a sensation of warmness coming through down, but I kept fighting and I could fight good. The round was over. It was sparring and the round was over, and then I got out the ring to switch. We're rotating two at a time, 2 rounds each. When I got out of the ring and I took a couple steps, I had no control of my feet. And I was like, but I don't know what those signs were at the time. Now that I became a coach and I was coaching USA Boxing, now they make you take concussion protocol signs to see if your fighters have it and know what they're suffering from. And it's kind of like some coaches don't. What happened? We good?
Yeah, she just sent me something.
The picture I said I was going to say.
That shit's all loud and shit. See, I got a concussion. I forgot what I was saying.
Oh my God, dog. I'm fucking up.
No, it's all good. But yeah, it was something that we didn't talk about back when I fought.
We didn't know, too.
Yeah, but now as a coach, you heard it more in the football. It got really popular in the NFL, and then.
But now, see, that's the problem with football is like those hits are repetitive over and over and over.
And those are 250-pound average size men hitting each other. The linemen and the running backs I'm talking about, and the linebackers.
Yeah.
And then you got a 180-pound safety running, a 200-pound safety running at those big guys and hitting them, and they're taking all the impact to their. Do you see that football player look like he died almost last year? I forgot what team he was
Hamlin.
from.
I think his name was Hamlin.
What team was he from?
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Yeah.
That was terrifying.
And he caused a hit.
But that was a heart. That was a heart thing.
That was a heart. Yeah.
That turned out to be a heart thing. But I mean, it looked like a brain thing.
Yeah, it looked like a brain thing.
Mac Jones, quarterback for the Patriots. He had to get. He just looked dizzy, and one of the guys like, we gotta call timeout. Get this guy off the field. It's hard to ignore now. When a guy's walking to the wrong huddle and stuff like that. One thing that I always wonder, and I did not get a chance to look this up, is why is rugby free?
We talked about that in Colorado Springs one time when I was there for the USA Boxing, and they were saying that it was a doctor speaking, so it wasn't us talking. It was a doctor thinking. He was saying his opinion that in the NFL, when you wear the shoulder pads and all that, it restricts you from moving. So the impact goes right to your brain. And it goes, when you're not wearing pads, that's why boxers don't get it that much. They get hit, and their head rocks where it has to go. It's when the head locks and comes right back, everything goes to the brain. Yes. So they're saying that it's not even the helmet that hurts them, it's the fucking neck pads, because they don't go. The impact goes right to the brain.
So we know why rugby.
Because rugby guys are fucking strong, and then you get those guys running 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, and huge. They look like walls. And now what about, what was it, Rams? You sent me a video of them.
Oh, yeah. I didn't send it to you, huh?
Rams,
but they got a special thing in their fucking
mouth. Yeah, but them motherfuckers were like, after, because it was like, a hard hit, dog. They were like, what are we doing here, motherfucker? And they just walked away. They're like, wait a minute, where am I?
That's how they showed their male dominance, no?
It looks like sometimes it's just how they play.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you want
to...
It's just that's thumb wrestling of them.
In the ranches, that's the only animal, because I have experience with ranches, that's the only animal that attacks you for no reason.
It'll just...
There's a video on YouTube of a ram, I'll send it to you, a ram hitting a bull and it kills it.
Dang, man.
Yeah. Wow. That's insane. So, now back to humans and concussions. Is this irreparable?
If it's early on, there is a way to reverse it. However, once it gets chronic, like bad, like it's hard to bring a motherfucker back, bro. Because certain guys, like even like Junior Seau took his life, and he's not the only one.
Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, so it's.
He took a couple lives.
For real.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I watched the documentary. Huh? Yeah, that's my team. Yeah. I mean, we're a colorful group.
But yeah, if you catch it early on, there's a way to reverse it. But once it gets a little too crazy, like it depends on the stage that you're at, it gets difficult.
So like, so a boxer, is it a lot to say a boxer has had 5 concussions?
It depends, man.
I mean, do they keep track of that?
I mean, I don't know how you would
keep track of it.
Keep track of it.
Yeah.
I know in all my experience of boxing that I noticed, I know it happened to me twice. One in a sparring match and one in a fight. Where thank God, Dr. Farrell, rest in peace. Dr. Farrell was a doctor here in San Diego, a neurologist, and he was heavily involved in professional and amateur boxing. And one day he told me, if you ever have a fighter have a concussion, and they ask you the same question a couple of times, confuse them. Like, just make their brain think. Okay? And I was like, okay. And I never thought I would use that. Fast forward like 15, 20 years, I'm sparring in Big Bear. Mm-hmm. And I took one of my guys to spar. And he got dropped in the sparring. But he jumped right back up. He was like, you good? I'm good, coach. I didn't see anything wrong. Kept sparring. I started noticing the other guy was having his way with him, so I stopped the sparring after 2 rounds. Got him off. Then we had a bunch of guys sparring and this and that. And then like maybe 40 minutes passed. And he comes up to me. He goes, when am I going in, coach? I go, you already did. He goes, no, I haven't sparred yet. I said, bro, you sparred already. Are you serious? He goes, yeah, what happened? You got dropped, dude. And he's like, oh, shit. All right. And they go, sit down, fool. Like, you know. And I'm getting everybody ready to go. Comes up to me again. Hey, coach, am I sparring again? Or what? Am I sparring, I mean? I said, dude, I told you already sparred. And that's when I realized. And I remember Dr. Farrell, right? So right behind the gym, this is in Big Bear at Abel Sanchez's old gym. We go in the back. There's a Mexican restaurant right there. And we sit down. And he says, are we going to spar or not? I said, bro, you sparred already.
So he got punched into a groundhog day.
And he says, well, how'd it go? And I thought about Dr. Farrell. And Dr. Farrell, I know he wasn't telling me to do this, right? I said, bro, I had to pull you off. He said, why? You tried to grab my junk in the ring, dog. He goes, what? I said, you tried to grab my dick in the ring, dog. No, get the fuck out of here. But he was thinking.
Okay, you like.
And he's like, get the fuck out of here. And then some time passed. I go, he was asking me no more. I kind of like woke him up. He said, did I do bad? I said, you did bad, dog. You got clipped. But he didn't ask me no more if he sparred. And then it came back to him. The sparring, he remembers he sparred, but he only thought he did 1 round.
Okay.
And then I said, yeah, but I thought about Dr. Farrell. I know it's not what he had in mind, but that was just, I threw my flavor in there, you know?
I told you, coach's love language is prison. So.
No, and then another time we were fighting on Showtime, bro, and we lost that fight, bro. That was a tough one. And I had Chris Martin fighting against I forgot his name, Mariaga. Remember Mariaga? Mm-hmm. He was a prospect. Anyways, we got beat. Mm-hmm. You know? And the fight was over, and then Chris tells me, yo, what happened? I said, you got clipped, bro. And he's like, oh shit. So we're walking out the ring. Yo, what happened? I said, bro, you got clipped. You know, I was like, all right, but what happened? So you got hit with this hand. I answered the question twice already. We're not even at the locker room yet. We're right outside the locker room. He goes, hey, Joe, what happened though? I said, I just told you got clipped. No, you haven't told me nothing yet. I said, Doc, I think we got a concussion right here. Those are the 2 times. And I just realized there's nothing you can do besides give them, like, depending on what the medical experts say, give them 2-3 months away from contact. And if guys want to come in and just train but not get hit, that's fine to me. But the doctors they're experts at it. But you got to stay away from contact.
And that's when the commissions step in. And
yeah,
like
they come
after
to
a fight.
They come
like,
to the
you guys
gym.
are both suspended
from hitting,
yeah.
getting hit from. But you can train, unless you have a different kind of injury that's not your head. You know?
Right. I mean, but when they issue the suspensions, are they called medical suspensions?
Medical suspension. If they happen to show up to your gym, and he's training sparring, that's your ass, Mrs. Parker.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You use that completely wrong.
Mrs. Parker.
Ms. Parker. And
well, the commission is a male.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
You don't have to call me out on it, dog. Nobody would have noticed it.
Yeah, but okay.
Say it for me the right way.
Says the fucking guy who doesn't even watch movies.
See, that's what I'm talking. That's why I'm calling you guys out on freaking everything. Every chance I get, I'm calling you guys out because I always get called out on anything.
It's 2 against 1.
I know. So I gotta fight harder.
Brace yourself, cut.
Yeah.
They'll do it. It's why I cry to sleep. So but no. So it's if they show up and you're sparring and you're on medical, it's gonna get worse. You're in trouble.
We'll get suspended.
Now, do they issue that medical suspension just based on fight footage?
No, they have to be there. They're in the when you fight. There's a guy right next to you the whole time. He's a commissioner. Mm-hmm. Usually they're wearing suits. Mm-hmm. They're with you the whole time, and then they give your paperwork to the doctor. When the doctor signs off, the doctor will ask him for recommendation. The doctor will make his evaluation, and then they'll both come to an agreement, give you a paper. Even if you win, you get a 5-day suspension.
Okay.
And if you lose, you're going to get anywhere from 30 to 90 days. Man. If you lose bad, it's 90.
90? That's
it also depends on the damage, cuts and shit like that.
And because I know, I've seen some fighters, they like to fight every 2 months.
No, some fighters fight more than that.
Yeah.
They would, but Depends if you get hurt. If you get hurt, you're not fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And every state, they check you up online and they say, oh, you're suspended in California. Nevada will respect it. Texas will respect it. New York will respect it. And you're not fighting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. So it's good. They got good protections in place. How long has this been a long-running practice?
Probably since they removed the 15 rounds and fighters were getting hurt.
That was insane. I saw
80s?
Yeah. I saw the fight that stopped the 15 rounds.
That's that Boom Boom Mancini, was that one? Or
I think it was.
Hong Sung Ki?
That sounds
I don't want to say his name. I don't want to butcher his name.
But it was a brutal 15-round beating. And it was like, hey, we should do these to 12 rounds now. You know, I'm like, yeah, well, let's 8. Why are we just subtracting 3? So to me, you were talking about the foot thing. I got hit. Habib hit me one time. And I was like, oh, I can't feel my left foot. And then it came back. So it was like for 3 seconds.
It's an equilibrium thing.
That tingling in my left foot. That was equilibrium. That wasn't.
Yeah, you usually have to get hit right in the back, boom, right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually what's gonna take away. My bad. I was like, oh no, now it's you, huh?
I'm so sorry. You're starting shit for dog.
I'm trying to point out that part of the head, right? It's right here behind the ear, right there. The temporal lobe. Yeah, your equilibrium's probably gonna fucking go.
That's where most of the injuries happen in boxing. When guys, wild motherfuckers hit you in the back of the head. That's the Pritchard Colon. A lot of guys got hurt from the shots back here.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Joshua, that's what he took from fucking Andy
Ruiz.
And he got the Bambi legs. Yeah.
I saw that. I just recently saw that. I was watching the thing on Ruiz, and that counts as a Mexican movie.
Yeah.
And
yeah, 2 Mexican movies so far this year. Canelo and Ruiz.
By the next episode, I will watch the most Mexican of Mexican movies.
I'll find it.
Salma
Hayek in there.
I did. Desperado is the best.
There you go. Okay, that counts. That counts.
Yeah, I love that movie. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my top 5. Desperado. You know, especially since, but not especially. But then I even found out that Antonio Banderas is not Mexican.
No. Spanish.
Yeah, he's Spanish. But Salma Hayek is Mexican.
I'm amazed you found that out.
She's told Mexican me. Is something else, though.
I did?
Yeah. I think it was in the same situation where it's do you watch any Mexican movies?
Oh, yeah.
I was Antonio Banderas.
But Salma Hayek isn't all the way Mexican, dude. She's mixed with something.
She's a Lebanese descent.
Right? Yeah.
I'm
That's where the name Hayek comes from.
I'm put some black in
her. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, dog.
No, I love her the most of all of them. Anyway, but aside from
that,
she's
your age too. Huh?
Probably.
She's 104. She is 50 something.
Hey, let me shock all our viewers. I'm older than Coach.
I got more white hair, but he's older.
Yep, but yeah. Okay, so young boxers, and this is one thing when I started boxing, and I would tell people, "Hey, what do you do?" I was like, "Oh, I'm boxing." They were like, "Oh, are you worried about getting hurt?" That would piss me off so much.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't like the negative connotations with that question. It's so I started saying, "Would you? If I told you I was parachuting, would you ask me if I was worried about my chute not opening?" They were like, "No, no." I'm like, "Don't ask me."
That's a good
one.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because you're just asking a person what are you gonna do when you get hurt? It's you're kind of cursing them.
It's because most people won't dare go in there fight somebody.
And it's so much.
That's what they think, That's what they're afraid of.
Yeah, and I think boxing, from what I'm coming to find out more and more, I think concussions is the least of what we're fearing. That.
Oh, absolutely.
That total body exhaustion is my biggest fear. When I get tired, that's when I start to get worried.
Yeah.
In the ring, but
a lot of guys do. A lot of guys worry about their conditioning.
Young fighters. So concussions, should somebody be? If somebody's coming to you, it's I want to box, but I'm worried about getting concussions.
Don't do it.
Go home.
If you're worried about anything, just go home. You're not gonna tell them it's not a big deal. You're not gonna tell them.
Fuck no.
You're gonna be afraid. It's gonna hold you back from a lot of shit.
Wow, and both of you guys said it right at the same time. Don't do it. Just stop. So going into anything with worries is just don't do that thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, what are you doing it for if you're worried?
Okay, so if someone says my son wants to box, but I'm worried he's going to get concussions, that's
a problem.
There's a gym down the street.
Yeah.
So you don't
take him too.
You don't want to deal with the mom.
I don't want to deal with the parents.
No, yeah, the parents. Yeah.
All right, so I'm trying to find the door to get this question.
No, I like it though. I like it because
how significant is
concussions in boxing? I think that's the direct question.
Bro, I'm gonna speak for USA Boxing here. I've been involved. I haven't been involved in the last 2 years, but before that, I was there forever. Those referees take care of those youth. They call them athletes from 8 to whatever they fight, to even to their 65, the masters.
Mm-hmm.
Those referees out there to protect you. They see something, bro. They're looking at those kids' eyes. They care. So concussion protocol, that's why they make us take it. You know, you got to redo it every year. Watch for signs of concussion. They care about. So there's somebody looking after you. And the coaches, obviously, every coach is going to take care of their kids. You know, you're not going to go in there. I don't want them to come and tell me what we have to worry about. I already know what we have to worry about. So if I see the kid, I used to tell the kids all the time, you go in there and fight. If I see you getting hit a lot, I'll stop it. Mm-hmm. But I never had to.
Put it this way. You were in there with real professional referees who referee probably like every fucking weekend. Right?
That is such an intense moment.
Yeah.
Like when Kyle got a standing 8 count on me. And the ref was right in my face. It's like, you know,
how
with
did you
questions.
feel? How did you feel? Like, how were you feeling? Like when, not like, how did you feel that when he did that? Like, how did you feel physiologically, physically when he did that? Did you feel like you could, if he wasn't there, you would have kept going?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what he means,
That's
like the protection, right?
Yeah.
Like he was looking after you. He saw something.
Let me give this guy. So the 8-second, the standing 8 count. It's a precaution.
It's
sometimes the referees protect you from yourself.
Exactly, that too.
Okay, I totally understand, especially with we saw
me as a coach. I want any female or male athlete to go into this with both feet ready to go, and my job is to protect them. But when you come in telling me, can you protect me? That's where I'll tell you to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that. I can definitely, when you come in like a preconceived fear, it's not gonna work.
I don't got time for that.
It's not gonna work. I think that's one of the good things. My arrogance when I started boxing was like I didn't have any worries. I thought I was a shit. So it was you know, you get that humbling. It's much better to get that humbling than to build up. I think anyway. Now on the same track, I have a question. Shout out to Liz. What's Liz's last name? Carmuche. I was gonna say something else, or I was gonna say that, but I was gonna butcher it either way. Shout out to Liz Camucci.
Yeah.
Camucci.
Yeah, I say Carmouche, but
Camuche.
I always say Che, but it's good
Champ.
enough.
Yeah, no.
Carmuche.
Champ.
Another arena fighter who she got a Bellator win in Bellator 300 this weekend, and that's awesome. And as I was watching the fight,
you watched the whole thing?
Some of it, peeked in, peeked out. I was happy it went 5.
Yeah.
Because like the first time I saw her fight, I missed it. I was on the toilet. She won it in like 40-something seconds.
Oh, for real?
I just went to the bathroom. I was like, okay, let's start it. I gotta go to the bathroom. It came out. She's got her hands raised. And I was like, motherfucker.
Should have been back in the bathroom, motherfucker.
I told every time I see her, I tell her, I was like, all right. For this one, I was like, hey, make this one last because the last one I missed because I was on the toilet.
Yeah.
So, but it occurred to me, I have a lot of friends who fight, and not all of them win.
Yeah.
How? And I'm always like, do I even mention it?
Yeah.
Do I bring it up? Do I say, hey man, you'll get them next time?
Yeah. I see what you mean.
What do you say to your fighter friend who took a loss? Not your teammate, not your protege.
Yeah.
We'll get to the protege part. No.
Oh, well, I think it depends on how the performance of the fight, man. I really do think, sometimes some guys, man, they just hesitate on pulling the trigger. And, we've had an experience like that. And sometimes you can't, you don't want to baby them too much. You want to be 100% real, cutthroat, because this is that's how the business is, bro. It's like, it's very cutthroat, it's very competitive. And you have to be at, like, it's hard, but you got to bring the best of you to the ring, as whatever it is on that fucking night, because I understand that it's not every single night you're going to feel the exact same. But the best of you, and you gotta showcase that, man.
See, you're thinking like a coach. I'm talking. No, okay. This is the scenario. This right? No, this is the scenario. You and we know each other from the bar.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm always like, yeah, I got to fight. We're good friends.
Yeah.
And I got a fight coming up.
But before you see me again, you're like, oh, I heard Adam lost this fight. I'm like, oh, really? Adam lost this
Oh,
fight?
I see what you mean. Just
It's
like,
do you bring
common
it?
folk?
Do you common folk?
Like just some.
Do you
Like
bring,
you see one of the fighters in the gym, you're like,
yeah.
okay.
I'm not even touching that
I
subject with
can't
him.
even.
You don't even address the.
That's already uncomfortable. They've already lost. They don't want to talk about it. So what am I gonna tell them? Oh, hey, good job. Oh, you could have did better. Like,
No, okay. I was at an amateur fight. A friend of mine was fighting, and he got the loss by decision.
Yeah.
We were all pissed. Now, because I was there, because I saw it, I felt like it was okay for me to say, "Dude, that was your fight."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah." We talked about the fight and stuff like that and chatted it up. But I just feel like if I'm not there, if I'm not involved, like I have no input whatsoever, just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
I'm not ignoring my friend. I'm not being a bad friend.
I think it's tough because at the same time you don't want to ignore fucking reality because the truth of the matter is, the loss is a loss. Sometimes I say fuck it and I'm like, what's up, man? How do you feel about that performance? How do you think you did? So I think that's not a bad opener.
Mm-hmm. Because it's weird because if I were on a baseball team or when I was on a baseball team and we lost, it's we. Mm-hmm. It's we lost. It's easier. How'd you guys do this weekend? How we lost.
Oh yeah, it is easier.
But if it's like I got beat or I lost, then it's harder.
Yeah.
It's hard, and you don't want to put somebody through that. Yeah. That's the thing. Oh, now let's just say you don't know the outcome of the fight. It's like, hey man, how'd your fight go this weekend? Yeah. And then they say, I lost. Right? It's like, get him next time. Like, what do you say then? What is the etiquette?
Again, I think it depends on how well you know this person, man. Mm-hmm. Like realistically, right? But I don't think there's anything wrong with asking like how do you think you did? How was it? Like what happened or whatever. But it all depends on what kind of relationship you have with this person. In my opinion, it's tough to answer because I don't like to walk around thinking about like how do I not hurt this person's feelings? You know what I mean?
It's not really hurting his feelings. It's like how do I stay in my lane kind of thing.
It's because you're asking us a question that we can't relate to because we don't have friends that box. We have students and fighters. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we don't. It's something that we won't understand because we kind of like we don't have. You have those friends,
right?
We don't. We coach them. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of weird. Like it's.
Because you're not dealing with feelings.
Yeah. No, I am dealing with feelings. I want to win, but what I'm saying is like.
But you're not dealing with feelings on emotions.
Oh, I care. Trust me, I kiss every fighter before they go out and fight. Mm-hmm. I'm attached to them. I'm connected with them. But
Coach was making fun of somebody today at the gym. I was like, Coach, stop hitting people's feelings. He said, if your feelings get hurt, you're in the wrong place. I was like, yeah, that's fact. Huh?
That happened today?
Yeah, what, you punchy? What's going on?
You got a concussion?
I got hit today in the morning. No, because yesterday I got hit by somebody at the gym.
Nope.
Oh,
nope.
Some guy named Adam, right?
Yeah,
nope.
I even been down and fucking prayed.
Nope. Didn't happen. Now.
It didn't happen? I didn't pray?
Yes, you prayed.
Okay, so don't say it didn't happen.
I didn't hit him.
Hats flew off and shit.
Hat flew off and everything.
Let me get my earrings, bitch. Hold on. I seen it.
I told y'all, sometimes Coach just puts me in a position where I have to stand up to him.
But you know what? I have a couple friends when we used to box, when I was a fighter myself, and when we would lose. Well, we didn't lose much, but when we did lose, we just fucking like look at each other. We wouldn't say nothing. Aníbal Solis, my boy. I have a lot more friends, but that was my ride or die right there. Me and that fool were always together fighting. And we just look at each other and like, fucking get him next time, fool, like that was it, We did, because we both competed. So we compete with each other. And it's like that, brother. You could beat him up at the gym, but you don't want anybody else to beat him up. Mm-hmm. That's how we were towards each other,
And I think that's the best mentality to losing periods. Like, I'm gonna get him next time, and just being able to own your loss, regardless of who's talking to you about it. It's just I've been around fighters who were just like, I'm about to go do this. I'm about to go get this win. I'm about to go, dominate this match, and then they took a loss. I'm like, how do I text this dude? You know what I mean? Because if he had won, I'd be texting him, yeah, you got this, congratulations, blah, blah. And
I usually wait for them to call me, because they get depends on another guy. If a fighter loses and he gets into a fucking little depressed fucking shell, he's not good for the sport.
Yeah.
So he needs to forget about it in a day or two and then start building again, man.
Yeah. And that's one thing I'm finding is you can't be emotionally attached to winning or losing.
That's true.
You just can't. Or you can't be emotionally attached to any part of boxing. That's what I'm finding out
That's
the most. It's like you just have to know how you're going to be when you get in there. And I'm just talking from a guy who's right now just sparring.
I don't understand that what you just said. I'm trying to.
I
I'm
know.
trying to wrap my head around it too.
Yeah.
Because when my guys fight, sometimes emotion wins the fight, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes discouragement loses the fight. So I'm not I don't know where you're coming with it from, but I know, like, as a coach,
Meaning, if you don't do well, you can't become down. You can't get depressed. Remember, you told me you were worried that if I took a loss, I'd walk away.
yeah.
And like that's the thing I'm saying. If you take a loss,
But it's a little different in every situation for you. I said that because you're barely starting.
mm-hmm.
Those guys are pro and all that, when I'm talking about pros and all that stuff.
okay.
Yeah, it's like different for every person. Like for you, you're barely starting and you're jumping in there. But the more I thought about it, like, man, you know what? Maybe he would be pretty good because you're in there, sparring all the guys and you do well. We just got to get you to get. That's a different subject. But
No, got it. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about off camera.
But one time, sometimes when you lose, like me as a coach, when I lose, bro, like, and I think Coach Bashir is the same too. We get down on ourselves.
Yeah, I definitely do.
We get down. I get mad. I get pissed off, and I tell the fighter what I haven't lost a fight yet with them doing what we tell them.
Right.
I've lost a lot of fights where they don't listen.
And I've seen those fights, and I've understand that aspect of it.
Yeah, and that's the hard part to accept. Like, you don't trust me.
Yeah.
You don't trust what we're telling you, or there's there's something lacking in their form of thinking in the ring, or they're scared. I'm trying to belittle them.
I completely understand that, and I also start to think, like, am I fucking not delivering the message right? Like, what do I need to do that's different, or what could I have done different? And I know what you mean, man.
And I know parents
like
listening to this part of the podcast feel the same thing. It's like when you're raising a kid, and it's like when that kid does exactly what he or she is told.
Yeah.
The outcome is a bit better. But when parents don't listen, they kind of have that, and I told you, that I told you so kind of knee jerk. If you don't listen to mom, they guilt them. I'm not saying boxing coaches are gonna guilt their athletes, but mom's a guilt.
No, man. But
Moms
I think
a guilt trip their kids.
That's why that relationship between the coach and athlete is so important. There has to be trust. You have to trust what your coach is saying for you to go out there and execute the game plan, man.
Absolutely.
Hesitation is really easy to creep in, for sure.
Be able to hear and do, like, right away without looking outside the ring. I still get yelled at for looking, like, coach will say something, I'll look. You go, don't look at me, dick.
A lot of guys do that. They have the shifty eyes. I call them the shifty eyes. Like, why are you looking at me? You're supposed to be looking at the guy in front of you. That's all it takes, is that split second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
You're concussed.
Yeah.
Full circle.
For real.
No more math for you. All right. This weekend we got the Women's Boxing Network event.
That's this weekend?
That's this weekend, coming up Saturday at noon.
Oof.
Women's Boxing Network event at Sports Arena. It's a smoker. Get out there. Actually, do this too. Follow Women's Boxing Network, just like it sounds, on Instagram at Women's Boxing Network. You can, if you want to participate, match up, because I think they'll still they have a couple fighters who are looking for fights.
Yeah, they should reach out to post her Instagram, Amber's, and that way they can contact her.
Yep, I'll post the list of people you can contact to participate. It's going to be a really good. They always have great events. I found out that the guy who did the food that I liked last time,
Mexican, Korean, black guy.
Mexican, Korean, black guy. Yep.
What? He's all the above?
No, he just cooks puts all his flavor.
Like, that's an interesting mix.
He does this
be there?
Mexican soul food. No, the place that she says not likely because she's having a hard time getting this information from the place that threw the event last time. They're trying to gatekeep them.
Hater.
Yeah, so
Hater raid.
So maybe we'll have somebody who's some better food, but they do door prizes, have food, and just a great atmosphere for you guys to enjoy the sport of boxing. So please check out at Women's Boxing Network, and you'll see the post in probably right then, probably right now. I don't know when I'm gonna edit it in, but I know that I will. So make sure you guys do that. Kyle, Jose, and Habib, they got fights in November, right?
18th.
Same day.
All same day,
All three of them are on the same card.
They're all those. Yay. Where?
Oh,
Sheraton, 4 Points, San Diego.
November.
And it's in San Diego?
Yeah, food.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that explains why Papa Cholet. Hola. I already forgot. I got a week to come up with two ringside ticket money. He came up to me last week. He's like, "How many tickets do you want?" That's how the conversation started.
Tell him who said I wanted to go.
So I got I'll definitely be that November 18th. I got 2 ringside tickets, so that's gonna be all 3 on the same card. Yeah. I've seen No, I have not seen Jose fight yet.
Oh, you haven't? He
Because
fought into
Neither have we.
yeah, pretty. It was like 40 seconds long, huh?
I sat down, got my bucket together, my water and everything together, ready to get going, and it's over.
Yep. And then the one fight, his supposed to be his debut, I got tickets for, but the other guy didn't show up.
Yeah.
The other guy didn't show up. So this guy, I kind of thought that was gonna be in October, but November. 18th.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be great. A great weekend.
And ladies, I'm buying 2 ringside tickets.
I was about to say, why are you buying 2?
You know, I believe in myself. You know,
I believe
we both know. Worst case scenario, I'll take Jackson or Seth.
Yeah. Or take Amber from
They
the
both
Boxing
got long
Network.
hair.
Huh?
They both got long hair.
How about Amber from the Boxing Network? We want to go to
She
a
always
fight
goes to
on
the
November 18th?
fights.
Amber, if she, huh?
I always see her at the fights.
Oh yeah. So,
Amber, he about to get an extra chicken. What's up? There you go.
So I got options.
Or yeah, worst case, just take Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson. That's my
Yeah,
dude
since
right
you
there.
broke his rib. He's your rib, dog. Adam and Eve took his rib.
I did not. Okay, one.
Took the boy's rib.
I refuse to feel bad about it
Good.
because he just keeps.
Should have fucking been sharp
He
on
keeps
that
calling me
defense.
old man.
Oh, you gotta break the other rib, then.
Right? Like that's the thing. I don't know when this started. But
I get called that a lot, dog. I'm like, sometimes I stop sparring with guys because I don't want to like break their spirit no more. But I think I'm gonna go in there one more hooray, dog. One more dance, dog. I'm gonna leave everybody like that.
For real, huh? Hey, shout out to Aniba. Aniba, what's up? You want to get some smoke?
Oh yeah, that
What?
motherfucker's been he's been
Let's
been
go.
ducking me for like fucking 10
Who's
years,
this?
dog. One of my
Aniba.
homeboys.
Oh, okay. That's cool. All right, folks. You guys are awesome. And,
Time to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe is free, dog.
That's what I'm
Hey,
just
we ain't
about.
got
Time
no
to
fights
like
this
this
weekend,
shit,
huh?
dog.
We're on fight. I am. Well,
You guys fucking like this, man, and subscribe. Help us
Yeah.
grow.
Tell your
fucking
family.
dicks, dog.
Get us.
Let's just hit a like.
You guys are awesome.
motherfuckers.
Share
We
that
really
shit.
appreciate
Tell them, dog.
you guys listening to us,
I
watching
don't
us.
appreciate shit. Hit the like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe. Make sure you guys subscribe. Okay. Max was giving me some.
What else?
positive
Share it
reviews
up.
Some positive reviews on the other
What?
stuff.
Share, comment,
Share that
subscribe, like,
motherfucker. Yeah.
fucking all the above,
This one
OnlyFans,
little
all that
button.
shit, homie.
That's
And
it.
there's some other stuff on the YouTube channel you guys could like. Point and Yell's done a lot of work.
Yeah.
So you guys, it's entertainment.
Point.
And yell.
Hey!
We're done. Bye.
Yeah, I think the words, but sometimes they don't come out of my mouth no good.